Right, so I'm really not sure what's happened actually. The zoom is apparently on the lowest possible setting, but it's really not. That isn't right. I'll put that on there. I don't know. No, it's not. It's anyway. Yeah, this is too close. Something's happened somewhere, and I can't work out what it is. Try putting it right back there. So, subject of today's video, when we finally get to it, my glasses. Now, I don't know how well you can see. I'm going to try and put that up there. Now, how well that'll focus. So, my glasses. This is an old pair now, and sadly, a couple of these sets of glasses, they didn't survive very well. They're all chipped and dented where the enamel is sort of flaking off. And I don't give them a rough, hard life or anything like that. Honestly, don't know what's happened. But I then had a lovely brand new pair, which doing really, really well, right up until the fact, should I say the time, that I fell asleep on the sofa, and I must have in my sleep just folded them like that. And I fell over asleep, and I woke up, and I knelt on them. And they weren't really repairable. They certainly weren't functional as glasses after that, so I had to go back to this pair. Today, we are getting there. Today, my new glasses have arrived. I'm going to the opticians to get them. So I haven't got the thing set up. I haven't got the thing set up here proper. I haven't got the attachment to fit this on. It wobbles about too much. So I can't do a driving there video. God, this is it's going to upset me, this. I'm going to have to try and sort this out. I've found the zoom function and I've zoomed out, but it's not working very well. I will sort it. I'm going to do a magic thing and I'm just going to appear in Bicester where my opticians is. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, the camera has done a thing. I'd like to pretend I worked out what I was doing, but the profile that was previously sort of like here has now dropped back, the zoom, and I can't work out why, because it still says, I'm just looking, it still says it's on 1, so I think normal. We're here. Well, we're not here, we're in Bicester, and first things first, just need to check that I'm within the lines. I'm nearly within the lines, so I might just straighten that up. Oh God, now the back, bloody, oh goodness me, I'm gonna go in another space. I think I've done it. I think I've managed to park. I've got another parking space now, admittedly. But I've forgotten the length of this car, and it would seem I'm still, do you know what? That's good enough. That's good enough. So, glasses have turned dark, occupational hazard of reactor lights, and yeah. So, I've got my tripod, because later on I'm going to do some filming out and about, and so I thought that'd be quite good for that. Yes, I'm going to go and get the glasses first, and then this will be gone forever. Let's go. Think that you mustn't do on this car. I can do it on the MX-5, I can't do it on this car. If you put your hand in the handle, it re-unlocks it because the key's in proximity. So yes, I've got everything I need, and now we just need to find the staircase and head down into the mean streets of Bicester. So I'm a bit early for my appointment. I've been asked to get some clothes pegs whilst out and about today. I said to Helen, I said, I will forget. You need to remind me. And she's very sweet. She said, oh, if you forget, it doesn't matter. And I always say, it's not being difficult. It's not obstinance. It's not anything other than pure middle-aged stupidity and forgetfulness. And I suffer with that very greatly. So I think I'm way too early. The opticians is down there. I'm way too early. I might go and buy the closed pegs now and just carry them. And having walked back the other way, I've just realised something. I forgot that we had a second conversation. And during that conversation, we decided Helen was going to go to John Lewis instead. So I forgot that I forgot that I forgot. Oh, now, Helen and I used to eat in there, the Bamboo House. And then it changed owners. And it wasn't quite the same. We used to park, some free parking at night around there. I think it's after 6, or it certainly used to be. And we used to park in there. And then we'd go over there to the Bamboo House. It was good. So, yes, there's my opticians over there. It's sort of there, I think. So, I'm going to be majorly early. But I'm really hoping that they'll just let me put the glasses up, because I'm keen to get on and do other things and also not be looking through reactor lights. So hopefully the next time you see me, my glasses will be clear. Coming up to the door. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so it would seem that the door's locked. I don't think they open until 10:30, which is when my appointment is. So, I'll be going in just yet. Right, I've just discovered there's a cafe 3 doors down. I'm going to go and have a coffee and use the loo and wait in comfort. Okay, well that didn't work either. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? To be honest, I just didn't fancy it. It was a Mediterranean style cafe, and it looked a bit clicky, to be honest. It's a terrible shame. Oh well, I'll enjoy the sun, I suppose. Right, non-reactor lights. These feel good, I don't mind saying. Yes, they look good, they feel good. Happy with this. So, right, that's it for Bicester. Not that's it for the video, no. That's it for the, I think it's going dark. No, it's just a light. I thought, oh my God, they put reactor lights in them by accident. No, goodness me. Right, back to the car. Perfect. Nothing to pay. Oh, the left-hand border. I'll be going in there then, won't I? Stairs it is. Oh, goodness me. So absolutely shattered. Oh, that was a long way up. Some more exercise, I think. Right, back to the car. Oh, where next? I don't know is the answer. Get to the Bicester, get on the road, back in a mo. It's really nice not to have the hassle of the glasses. So I'm charging the car. Previously, I never bothered because it was, you know, relatively cheap to top up the car overnight. It's a hybrid car. And, you know, it costs like a couple of quid for electricity overnight. But if you were out and about, it cost more to charge the car than it did for the diesel. Obviously, That's no longer the case. It is cheaper per mile to actually do it by electric rather than diesel. So this is Oxford Services, or Pear Tree Services, should I say, just outside Oxford, and there's only one charger. So you sort of feel a little tiny bit that, there's other people wanting to charge, but there's also there is a queuing system, and I was here first, and I'm really sorry, but I'm entitled to charge. And you sort of almost feel bad, but at the same time, you've got to play nicely. You've got to charge in order. I just thought I'd wander off from the car momentarily and just come for a little walk up here. So these are the sort of things you never ever see when you're driving. So this is one of the few services in the world you can walk off of. Obviously, motorway services you can't, and it's Welcome Break. So obviously they are, normally Welcome Break services are on the motorway. Why on earth they're here, I don't know. But this is the edge of the Oxford's that way. Home is that way. And there we are. That's I often see people walking along here and think, well, it's all very nice, isn't it? But it's a strange place to kill time, but it could be worse, I suppose. It's a nice day. And this has turned into a little bit of an adventure, hasn't it? I haven't really done an out and about video for a while, and who'd have thought that going and getting your glasses would be so exciting. It would inspire you to go and do a video. It's not my greatest work. I won't pretend for a moment, but yeah, we will see what develops. So part of me feels that I'm somehow being inconsiderate by being there, but the other part of me think, do you know what? I'm entitled to charge, so I'll get back in the car and just wait a bit longer. So 11 minutes to go, and I'll be glad to get back on my way. This sort of stopping and sort of forcing yourself to stop and break your journey, it's actually quite interesting because, although it could be a bit of a bind, if it is cheaper to run on the electric than it is to run on the diesel, apart from the fact that obviously sustainability and all of that sort of stuff, just purely from a cost perspective, and it sort of forces me to sort of stop and have little bits of time. This could be good for filming. This could be good just for general relaxation. So charger over there. I'll go and disconnect it in a moment, and I'll see you back on the road a little bit later. But this is quite relaxing. I like it. See you in a sec. Right, so this charger here, the second charger, is by the Country Kiwi, where I've been a couple of times. Really nice in that, actually. It's somewhere between Burford and Cheltenham. I couldn't tell you exactly where, but they've just built this new bank of 8, 4 aren't working yet, 4 are, superchargers. And I worked out that my last charge, very roughly, cost me 40p a mile. Now, how does that compare to diesel? It's difficult to say. It depends on the price. And I noticed the price seems to be coming down. But what I was really interested in is that the price you pay for electric, if you've got an electric car, you'll know this from charging, but the price you pay per unit depends, in part, on how quickly it's delivered to your car. So this is running at, you can see that, 15 kilowatts. And the last one was going at 47. So in theory, I should pay less per mile here, but it will take 2-3 times as long. That's okay. That's fine. I'm in no rush. If it does it at that, I've got to be honest, I'm quite happy with that. So yes, so it's been plugged in a couple of minutes and it's only gone up 1%. So it is definitely going slower. Total session cost nothing at the moment. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. Oh, it's gone up to 22 kilowatts. It's gone up to 30, 34, 41. So 60, blimmin' heck. This is now going to cost a fortune, isn't it? Blimmin' heck, look. Goodness me, it's already spent 50p and it's only put 1% in. I might keep an eye on that. Blimmin' heck. I thought this was going to be a lovely slow charge with, all the time in the world, and yeah, it's not, is it? It's but mind you, Splash and Dash, it's jumped up to 63 now. Look, 63%, 57 kilowatts, and I've spent, what's that, 94p so far. It is actually quite interesting because I was saying to a couple of people actually that what I might do for a couple of sort of adventure vehicles, how far can you go on the 50-mile range for electricity that this has? Now, well, you can go 50 miles, can't you? What I meant was, what adventures could you get up to if you only had a 50-mile range between charges and you had to keep topping up? Well, I think that's quite an exciting adventure actually, because I think you would quite genuinely, you'd force yourself to stop, wouldn't you? So you'd plan the route, you'd take more care, and this isn't a bad place to stop and look, is it? This is blooming nice. This is frightening me. 177, 67. So a lot of it will be down to the price per mile again. So 60%. So 40% charge. I think there was about 30-something miles left. So I need to get a calculator and work this out, how many pence per mile this works out to be. But this could work because one of the risks that I was sort of trying to work out, and one of the things I was very fearful of, as most of you that watch my little channel know, Noah and I spend a lot of time together. He's a big part of my life, and he knows that. And he's with his mum in Cheltenham half the week, and he's with me the other half the week. So I go backwards and forwards quite a bit. And I was very fearful when we thought, is there going to be a diesel shortage? We still don't know, do we, at this point? There might be a diesel shortage. It might go north of £2. Who can say week on week? But what I do know is that with this now here, this is a lovely halfway point, because I wouldn't stop at Oxford Services again, where there's only one charger and people are fighting for it. I think I'd come here. I don't know how much, I don't know what the cost is, sort of equivalent. I can't quite work it out. So £3.19 and 3 kilowatt hours. So that's about £1 a kilowatt hour, isn't it? So that is more expensive than the 85p per kilowatt hour they were charging me at Oxford. But in terms of speed and convenience and a nice place to be, I've got to be honest and say, I quite like this actually. I think this is more me, more quintessentially British and countryside-y and out of the way. All I need now is a dog collar. If only I knew where to find one. But this is actually quite exciting. So anyway, going back to what I was saying, if I could, I do digress, I know. If I could make sure that I could get over to Noah and back just on the electric, that would protect me. It would protect our time together. And that was so important. So even if there's no diesel in the world, or if it's £47 a litre, yes, I did say that, which you never know. Those of us that remember paying 30p a litre for 2-star and 4-star petrol, leaded petrol back in the day, who'd have thought £1.70 something for unleaded, which it was fearful of hitting at one point. I think it got to 160 something, didn't it? And I was looking and thinking, no, it can't go to 170. But I was fearful. Yeah, who knows? But the positive side, this is really, really good. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to get out if I could. My time with Noah is protected. I can get to and from Cheltenham. I can get out and about. I can go adventuring. And I've got Murky here, Murky the Second. Now, the only fearful thing is, and this is a serious thing, if Tam passes her test, she's going to have Helen's car, and Helen's going to want this one back. And then all my plans are thwarted, because an MX-5 runs on unleaded. Maybe a little electric van might be the way to go. Maybe I'll swap the MX-5 for an electric van. Who knows? Right. Am I going to... See, that's put 23% in just while I've been rabbiting on. That's done really, really well. And actually, £5.61 for 20%. It was empty at Oxford. This doesn't make any sense. It's more expensive per kilowatt hour, but I physically spent less. Or have I? I don't know. It's too confusing. Those of you that are maths geniuses out there, I'll let you comment below. I'm going to pretend to be interested. I am seriously interested. But yeah, this is quite interesting. So 614, and I've had 26%. So 6, 12, 24. Yeah, it is. It's slightly more expensive than it was at Oxford, Pear Tree Services. But this is still pretty good. This is good stuff. Right. I'm going to go for now. I'll see you in a sec when this is finished charging. Right. So, charge complete. And because that is so fast, although it is obviously more expensive than just trickle charging if you've got all the time in the world, it does mean that when I take Noah back in the mornings, if we have to stop, which I think we would, because I think it's 60-something miles from our house to Noah's school, or is it 54 or is it 60 to his mum's? I don't know. It's definitely more than 50. And 50 is sort of the most that you usually get. In the winter, that's only be 45. Or in the super too hot, it's going to be 45. So this is a great place to make for. This is going to work well. Yeah, I think we have a solution. Right, I'm going to get on the road. I will see you again in a bit. Right, I'm just down the road and I've had a bit of a realisation. I have these, don't I? Let me get out the car. So I've been travelling around, obviously, for years, backwards, forwards. I was on the road quite a lot doing funerals and obviously out doing videoing and what have you. And something I realised a while ago, and you realise these things, but you just don't act on them, that you stop somewhere like this, it's just a lay-by, a little wood, side of the road, and you're at, traffic's coming backwards and forwards. What you realise is that gosh, that's a bit noisier than I thought. Life is so busy flying past. You really have to stop and take a moment and just, that's a wood. To be fair, people have dumped rubbish in there and people have probably done far worse in there, he says. Not that I know, of course. But there's a lovely view beyond it. This is just being out and about, isn't it? This is... I get inspired by little things like this. I don't know what it is, but I think because life is so precious, I've heard of two very sad deaths this week. I didn't know either of the people that passed away, but I do know two people that have been affected, one each, by it. And, you know, actually, no, I tell a lie, three, and I did know one of them. And, you can't stop and get morbid. When sadness happens, it is sad. And we do deal with it, and nobody knows that more than me. But there is this sort of quest is the wrong word. There's this sort of inertia that, you realise, my goodness, time is short. I need to be doing stuff. I need to be going out and doing things. And I think blacksmithing, silversmithing, leathercraft, converting the garage, moving, not moving. We're not moving. Well, not as far as I'm aware anyway, not unless Helen's won the lottery this morning, in which case either she hasn't told me or it's going to be a lovely surprise later. But that'd be nice, wouldn't it? But as we don't play, the absence of buying a ticket, I think would certainly prevent us from being successful in actually winning. But absolutely lovely just being out and about. I don't know if it's the weather, but yeah, I did promise more adventures would be coming, and today has sort of turned into one, really, hasn't it? I think it's incredible. It's you go and do something very, very mundane, like just go to the opticians to pick up your new glasses, and you've got to travel 50, 60 miles to do something that you do every week, multiple times, just picking Noah up. And it turns into an adventure. Life is an adventure, isn't it? It's the journey. It's and I've said loads of things before. Some of them intelligent, some of them probably not. It's good to be out and about. It's good to be alive. So right, I'm going to carry on for now. I'm sorry I can't really bring you with you travelling. But do you know what? We'll give it a go. It might work, it might not. We'll see. I'll either catch you or you'll fall over, because the camera can sometimes do that, in a sec. Let's pop it on there. We'll see what happens. Oh, I don't know how well this is going to work. We'll see. Helen's just sent me a message. So I'm just dealing with that. She's telling me something important here, and then we're going to, I say fly off. We're going to drive ever so sensibly and steadily down the road. Okay, she's typing. Please. Right, we're still recording. I don't know how well this will work. Oh, actually, that's interesting. If I lean forward, I can see myself in this mirror here, reflected on the camera screen. So that's, okay. Right. Still seem to be working. Excellent. A little sip of that. A zesty beverage. Let's go. So we've got a little bit of driving footage as well. I wasn't expecting that. When I first started videoing, I used to do quite a lot of driving footage. That was my sort of opening offering to the world. And I remember talking quite a lot of nonsense, actually. Some of it's made some very interesting sort of personal memories. And other bits have turned out to be, well, a little bit ridiculous, if I'm honest. It's been a lovely day so far. It really has. I've just realised it's only 1 o'clock. It feels like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I just feel I've done so much today, in a good way. The car went in for its annual service yesterday, this one, I couldn't, or what should I say, where I booked it in, I couldn't find anywhere that, you know, sort of was a specialist Mercedes place with a 5-star hotel next door that I could just go and stay in. So I had to get a taxi back to back to our office, to our clinic. And it was actually really hard getting a taxi from Princess Risborough. Getting one back wasn't a problem, but getting one from there was actually a little tiny bit tricky. So yesterday I went back to the clinic, this is where I was going with this, and I did a lot of the jobs that I would normally do on a sort of a Thursday. So this morning my inbox was clear. I've had a couple of people contact me about little bits and pieces, and I have responded, and it all seems to be quite quiet at the moment. So I shall keep checking. I shall sort of look later and what have you. But yeah, it's just a lovely, peaceful day. Peaceful, but loads of stuff done as well. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's enjoy the view for a minute. I'm gonna keep jabbering otherwise. Right. Well, I've arrived at Dunkerton's cider farm and food place and what have you. I'm not going to go in today because it's actually quite busy. I thought this was actually a rather lovely place to end the video. So I won't go venturing in there today, but I will come back and have another look another day. I've got so many thoughts and ideas buzzing around. A couple of people, Helen included, have commented they can actually see the cogs turning. I think I have my creative juices back. So yes, without further ado, I shall say thanks very much indeed for watching this one. There is lots more coming. I've had so many ideas, so much planning to do. And next week, or the week after, probably the week after, there might be a duo with an old friend coming up if all goes to plan. So thanks very much indeed for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.